Alright, now comes a video, and I apologize for the quality because I cracked my phone camera, but here comes a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. And it's an explanation of, even though I am bisexual, I do not date women. I'm male dominant, meaning I date women more than I do women, even though I'm bisexual, presenting female, right? Or female. The reason for that is my two biggest standards are authenticity, and the second one being secure. Most women are not secure in a lot of ways. I would say self-worth-wise, confidence-wise, emotionally, and mentally-wise. They also are incredibly petty in most days. What I mean about being secure is that you're secure in your own self-worth and self-identity. Most women are insecure, and they're not authentic. What I mean by that is, you got implants, you got makeup, you got new clothes, new hairstyles, new this, new that, all to look good, look pretty, and they blame it on the patriarchy, on trauma, or just about basically anything other than, that they're insecure. I mean, it's not, capitalism isn't forcing you to play into buying all these things, and I don't think most good men require you to wear makeup, have implants, get new hairstyles 15 different times a week, or month, whatever. Then I certainly don't think your trauma is an excuse of why you should just be jealous and petty and rude to people for no damn apparent reason. I'm female, and I've been bullied and put down and treated absolutely horrendously, more by females than I have men. I can't stand most women. In fact, I'm terrified more than half of them, because they're just damn terrible. I wish I could date women. I'm just kind of worried they're going to fuck me over and screw up my whole damn life if I date them, because that seems to be what they like to do, and then come up with any excuse other than, that they're insecure and need their traumas addressed, to justify everything. And being authentic, I mean, that just means being able to be yourself, being real, being, unapologetically you. And as an autistic female, that just comes natural to me, because I don't see the reason to put on some fake mask and pretend I'm 15 different people day to day just to please everybody. That's exhausting and that's dumb. I mean, I grew up camping, skiing, woodworking, jewelry, card games, blackjack, poker. I've been to casinos. I can do pretty much anything I set my mind to, and pretty much anything you could possibly suggest hobby-wise. I've done video games, movies, I make YouTube videos, pretty much everything. And it's because I set my mind to being able to do everything. It's only impossible to do something if you believe it's impossible. And I've survived a lot of hell. I'm not saying more than any one other person, we all have our struggles, but it seems to be the theme with a lot of women that I've survived more hell than you, and out of the goodness of my heart. What does that have to do with anything? Why do you feel the need to compare and contrast and then say, well, see, the patriarchy is the way it is, and I only compare because that's the way the society is set up? And whoever said you were required to fall into societal standards? The fuck? I mean, at the end of the day, and I've said this before, men are the least of my worries, and sexual assault's the least of my worries. At the end of the day, I'm more worried about getting housed and having stable housing than I am wondering, am I going to be raped every second? I mean, like I've said before in another video, if you want to stay in that mentality, then that's what your reality is going to be. If I perceive my reality that there's nothing to be afraid of, then I will be unafraid. If I perceive that I'm worth it and I can get anybody I choose, then that is how my reality will be. If I continuously heal and stay in the mindset of a student learning, not teacher, because then you think you're better than everybody and you need to teach everybody something. We all have those people. Trust me, I've grown up with so many women like that, and just about one or two men, honestly. And it's typically in the autism caseworker and ILS management that women seem to feel the need to micromanage, control, and help lesser human beings than themselves have the goodness of their heart, and then get confused as to why people then call them a narcissist, or, just being cruel or unjust or jealous. I mean, jealousy is a whole other conversation. I was always confident. I was a very present lover. Middle school, I just did whatever I want, because who's to say what I can and can't do. I mean, in regards, as long as I'm not hurting or harming or causing a catastrophe, then I can do whatever the hell I want, you know, as long as it's not against the law or negatively affecting others. And so, I mean, I was just a weird kid. I was the girl who would walk up to the table and throw water on my face and do a hair flip just to see what it felt like, because I wanted to know what it was like to be in an 80s movie. Especially when I'm at the pool in the summer, I would try to do all the 80s, coming out of the water, 80s to 90s, Hallmark, 2000s, rom-com, you know. I mean, it looked absolutely stupid, but I thought it looked great, so everybody else did. Somehow that pissed off all the women in my middle school. Ended the pool. So then a girl, you know, threw away my homework, poured Gatorade on all my belongings, you know, while I was changing in PE, tricked me purposely in soccer, and then faked that I hit her. And, you know, this behavior doesn't change through most women when they mature. So, I mean, y'all wonder why you're still single and why most people can't stand you. And I'm not saying all women. No, more than 50% of women, but not all women, because that's rude. There are some decent women. There are most decent women, but I can't do this. Yeah, I can't sit here and pretend that you guys are going to keep saying, it's not me, it's you, and more than half the time it's you, sweetheart. More than half the times it's you. Because more than half the time I've been crying, it's because of my mom, not my dad. My mom is worse than Gypsy Rose's mother, who had Michelin's disorder. Yeah, she messed with my hormones because females in my birth family, because I'm adopted, you know, run on more testosterone than we do estrogen. My mother couldn't understand that, so she, you know, and I have very good taste, so I could taste the difference of my oatmeal in the morning for 3 years. She fed me estrogen for 3 years, and there were doctor's appointments and stuff where she was doing tests to figure out what the hell was wrong with me, because how dare I be just naturally confident, like she doesn't run the way that I do. Yeah, because I'm not you. You should run like this. Women are plumper and fatter, and they run on estrogen. And the doctor said, well, according to her DNA, though, I'm not explaining it well, but, you know, I lived through hell, and, you know, I had to be an adult right out of the womb, because my parents just didn't know how to parent. They didn't even know how to take care of themselves. Me and my sister were the mom and dad. So, and then, you know, that doesn't even start on stuff that happened when I was pregnant. People tried to kill me and my baby. The ER thought he was an unaffected growth, a UTI, a tumor, cancer, anything. Even a molar, even though he was very visible on the ultrasound. So, my point is, if we heal all of that, like, that's an explanation. I'm not saying it to say for me. I'm saying to say I've been through hell as well. You guys are not alone. It's not an excuse. It's not a reason to shame people for no reason. It's an explanation as to why you do the things you do. And a reason, a gateway to heal that and become better than you are. And I try to do that daily. So if we were all secure and accepted ourselves as we're authentic, can you imagine how different the world would be? We didn't blame others for the way that we were. Wow. We'd be so much better off.